Digital World Acquisition Corp is falling and falling hard. Is DWAC over, or does this provide an opportunity? Right now the volume of trading on this stock has dropped significantly since last week, but will another spike in volume cause another upward spike? Remember, GME earlier this year, after hitting highs of over $480, it dropped down to under $40 before ripping back up again to over $300. Could something similar happen to DWAC? If you're new to the channel and want to hear more about exciting stocks about to make huge gains, then hit that like and subscribe button. Remember, this is not financial advice, just my opinion of what could possibly become an opportunity. Now let's dive back into the stock that has got SPACs moving again. So, the two stocks linked to Donald Trump dropped in trading shortly after the ex-president detailed plans for one of the companies, and the other firm said it would sell additional shares to raise capital. These are the two stocks that I talked about over last weekend, Digital World Acquisition Corp and Phunware, which came after both companies saw massive gains in their stock values near the end of last week. In this video I will focus mainly on DWAC because I feel there's a lot to address here. I'll make another video later on this week on Phunware. I feel that deserves its own attention because they did exactly what I warned they might do over the weekend. I had said that Phunware and that its share price was no longer based on its fundamentals, and that management might try to take advantage of this huge opportunity to raise cash with a share offering. I even pointed directly to their financial statements and showed A, the poor financial position of the company, and B, the notes in the accounts that showed that management felt the need to do a share offering just to fund continuing operations. Anyways, I'll bring you an update video on that as soon as possible. So DWAC's share price skidded more than 20% in early trading Tuesday, and in total is down now over 30% from Monday morning. On Tuesday, an hour before trading began, Trump issued a lengthy statement about his plans for the new social media app he intends to roll out and other aspects of the new company. To take on big tech censorship, we are creating a big tent platform, Truth Social. The company is inviting people of all political stripes and all different viewpoints to come and participate once again in a great American debate. That's what the country is supposed to be about. Now, something that's not mentioned here is that this goes far beyond just the country. This has a reach far beyond the United States. Social media in its essence is global, and the reach of Truth Social will be global. Whether it can achieve this or not is a completely different matter, however. He went on to take a swipe at big tech and big media players, in other words, Facebook, Twitter, Disney, Netflix and others like that. Let's not forget that these are the companies that have banned him from their platforms. These are the companies that he spoke out against time and time again for publishing fake news, as he put it. But before they banned him, he was one of the most active social media users around, having amassed over 89 million followers on Twitter and 33 million on Facebook. So really, this is Trump saying, if you ban me from your platform, I'm just going to make my own platform and take you on. But the question is, as an investor, should we be betting on this new company or against it? Just like I said over the weekend, we know nothing about this company really. Digital World Acquisition Corp and Trump Media and Technology Group have no revenue, no cash flows, no profits, or even a clear business plan. They have a vision, but not a clear business plan. And yet their stock had rose up over 17 times its initial price in just the space of 48 hours. So investors need to remain cautious and not get caught up in the hype. Now, I found this article quite funny, calling DWAC the meme stock to end all meme stocks. The trading in DWAC makes the meme stock phenomenon of GameStop and AMC look mild. Now, I take issue with this. This does not make GME look mild. GameStop was the phenomenon that nothing else has come close to. First of all, DWC went from $10 up to $170 and then began to drop as trading was halted multiple times. DWAC has not yet had another run up. Let's compare this to GameStop. And saying that GameStop was mild, GME went from under $3 at its low point up to over $483. It spiked up in January and in February before dropping down as low as $40. But then back up to $300 in March and June, and is still up over 1200% from 1 year ago. So how the author can say that GME is mild in comparisons to DWAC is a joke. What made GameStop so powerful of a movement was that not only did people see this as some sort of short squeeze opportunity, GameStop represented a chance to unite and take on the major hedge funds. And everybody got behind that idea. I remember seeing pictures being posted of people buying fractions of shares at $400, putting in whatever they could afford, whether that be $20 or $30, titling these pictures as doing their bit in the fight against hedge funds like Citadel. The power in GME was the fact that there was millions of people doing this, and they felt they were doing it for a cause. As the author says here, buying DWAC is a bet on Donald Trump remaining newsworthy and TMTG remaining a meme stock, more so than it is a bet on the next big social media network. And maybe that is correct, but maybe people will see this in a similar way to GME versus hedge funds, and that in itself could drive the share price back upwards. As for Trump remaining newsworthy, he has been since the 80s, and I think he will remain newsworthy regardless of the outcome of this company. Which brings me back to the weekend and an article I read that looked at this on a more long-term view than just 48 hours in the markets. Truth Social, $1 trillion in 10 years is feasible. Truth Social and parent company Trump Media Technology Group are basically just absurdly lofty ideas. However, the massive total addressable market opportunity clearly exists, and so does the intense pent-up demand for it. As I said a moment ago, a lot of people might see this as a break from Facebook. Let's not forget that Facebook has come in for a lot of criticism from both users and governments in recent years. In the short term, a lot of people might view this very similarly to GameStop versus Citadel. In this article, they look at the business model, the market opportunity, the two big challenges that Truth Social must overcome, and the stock's 10-year path to $1 trillion market capitalization. Another thing I spoke about over the weekend was when Mark Zuckerberg was proclaimed foolish for not selling Facebook for $1 billion in 2006. It's now worth $1 trillion. So that just goes to show anything is possible. And Jeff Bezos was also slated by analysts, told that Amazon would never make it. So the next thing pointed out here is that Trump does have a list of failed businesses too, so nothing can be taken for granted. Trump Casinos failed, Trump Steaks failed, Magazine failed, Vodka failed, Airlines failed. But it does mention that along with all these failures, the power of Trump's brand continued to grow. Any publicity is good publicity, and that is very true. Despite his long list of business failures, he has a strong track record of generating very strong demand for his social media content. For example, prior to being banned, his ability to attract users on social media platforms had been very strong. I spoke about the potential market in my previous video, but Trump Media and Technology Group aspires to create a rival. They want to rival the big tech status quo, and there is clear reason to believe that the opportunity is there. The question is whether TMTG can capitalize on it or not, and that is the big question. The two big challenges that TMTG must overcome are 1. Gathering a critical mass of users, and 2. Averting the certain onslaught of attacks from the incredibly massive and unquestionably powerful big tech companies. And a problem here is that many companies have come up against these big companies in the past, but the likes of Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, Google are too big to be taken on. No startup ever has a chance, but this company potentially could. Not everybody has the sort of capital behind them that this company would have. Another big challenge here is the App Store. It would be quite easy for big tech companies like Apple to make up an excuse to kick Truth Social off their App Store. This would be a significant challenge that TMTG would need to overcome. The true risk will be whether the business can overcome the massively powerful and obscenely wealthy big tech companies that will do everything in their power to attempt to stop TMTG from succeeding. Whether they can overcome this challenge, or whether it will just be another failed business in a long list of failures, is yet to be seen. I found this article really good. I thought this was a fantastic read. I'll put a link to this in the description for anyone that wants to have a read of the full article. This is written by Blue Harbinger, and this offers something other than the extreme euphoria that we've seen around the company on Thursday and Friday, and the extreme pessimism regarding DWAC yesterday and today. So guys, that brings us to the end of the video. If you've watched all the way through, then hit that like button, it really helps the channel out a lot. What do you think will happen next at DWAC? Will this continue to drop, or will this rise again, and what knock-on effects do you think this will have on other SPACs? And do you think having such organised groups like Wallstreetbets type of trading is a good or bad thing in the stock market of 2021? Drop me a comment and let me know what you think. In this video, I'm giving you my opinion, and this should not be viewed in any way as financial advice. But if you do enjoy my opinions, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button and bell notification, and I'll catch you in the next one.